Hi everyone. Oops. Oh wow. Okay. Anyway, hi. My name is Andi. If you're watching this on Tumblr, you'll know me as the lovelyquirkster.tumblr.com. Let's ignore that. But yes, I'm on Tumblr and I am known as the Lovely Quirkster. As of late, I've been taking a large interest in doing makeup. I've been watching a lot of tutorials by Michelle Phan. I just thought that I might take a whack at doing one myself. I am in no way a beauty guru or anything like that. I'm not, paid or anything to do any of these things. It's just kind of something that I thought might be kind of fun to try out. Okay, hi. I'm back. I don't know if you can really tell a difference, but this is me without my makeup. Before, actually, this is actually kind of good. Before, my video froze and I couldn't see anything moving. It was just like a frozen image of me. Sorry as I admire my, just, so beautiful. Okay. Like I said, I had makeup on before, so I just wiped it off with a Neutrogena facial cleansing cloth, which I love. They're really great cloths. And I really like Neutrogena actually as a brand anyway. So I'll just shake this up. Okay. Like I said before, it's the light to medium, and I'll probably have to go darker when it gets to summertime. So I always start on my cheeks. Usually people recommend that you kind of start in the middle and work your way out, but I just kind of do this. This is just like my usual regimen. If I have enough, I'll go down onto my neck. Don't forget your neck. Alright. It's really essential to blending. I don't know if you can really tell, but it just kind of evens out your skin tone. This is the cheek without it. I know it's a little bit bright, but I like natural light a lot better. So I'll just, I usually put about this size, maybe a little bit more. In fact, I'll actually put a little bit more on right now. Sorry, this is almost at the very end, so bear with. But yeah, I mean, it's very sheer coverage. It's good for your skin. Like I said before, it's got SPF 15. I've heard that people recommend SPF 15 and nothing higher if you're doing any kind of photography or you're going to be in pictures, because a higher SPF will refract more light and you'll look washed out. So just keep that in mind when you're buying tinted moisturizers or any kind of foundation that offers SPF protection. Just do something that's kind of low, maybe 10 to 15, to give yourself a little, a boost of protection, but, not wash yourself out if you take pictures. So then I just kind of work on my forehead. I don't know if my input is really all that valuable. As you can see, I'm leaving my glasses on. I always do because I can see much, much better. And in reality, they really don't get in the way that much. If they do, I just kind of shift them down a bit. And this might drive other people nuts, but it really doesn't bother me. I'm not used to being without my glasses, so it feels fine to me if I have them on. So I'll just set that aside and I'll use my concealer next. Like I said, it's L'Oreal True Match. Sorry, that's upside down, but L'Oreal True Match. It's cool undertones, light to medium skin tone, C4-5. So I'm just warming it up right on the back of my hand. I use the brush right from here. I don't really use a special brush. I just use whatever it comes with. And then I just dot it on wherever. And I'll actually have to use a mirror for this because it's really hard to do it just from the video. But do it around the nose, because that tends to get red, and this will help conceal that. As with many things that you do with your face, it's just purely experimental. You just have to keep on trying until you find something that works for you. I really wouldn't recommend washing your face with just regular body soap because it can be very, very drying, and it can leave a really gross residue. Right now, what I'm using is Clinique's Face and Body Bar. It was recommended to me actually a few years ago when I was in middle school by my aunt. She's a Clinique lover, and I like Clinique too. It's kind of expensive, so I don't use it a lot. But I got it as a gift for Christmas this year from another aunt, which was very thoughtful of her. And and I've been using it just about every other day. So this is what my face looks like with all of the product on. And it looks a little bit better than before. It's not entirely perfect. You can still see my blemishes. There's one right here that's kind of stubborn. I'm taking off the concealer that I had in my hand with my cosmetic sponge. As you can see, I'm down to one last use, so I figure that I can probably just clean up a little bit with the sponge, and I just throw it away. I forgot to do my under eye circles. Okay, so I don't have crazy under eye circles, luckily. I try to get a good amount of sleep just because I'm kind of a pussy when it comes to sleep. God, I can't do this with the video camera. But just kind of, I've heard that a trick you can use is if you put your face down, okay, at an angle, and then you can kind of see where the dark circles are. So I'm just gonna apply some concealer here. Okay, and I don't put it on my lids. I don't feel the need to put it on my lids. So use your ring finger, it's the weakest finger on your hand, and just gently dab until it's all blended in. And like I said, this is a little bit yellow for me, but the yellow will help detract from the greenness. It'll really brighten up my under. Yeah, okay, so that's what it looks like when I put my concealer on. I really don't know if you can tell how yellow it is, but I can tell obviously because I can see it in person. And I just used my concealer from before right from the brush. I didn't warm it up this time, but whatever. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put that translucent setting powder right on your eyes right away, just so that the concealer doesn't start creasing, which it will inevitably do. So this is just to help it, to help absorb some of that liquidity. Okay, so now I'm going to put the translucent powder all over my face. And I'm just going to try and be really quick about this. You don't need a lot. So I'm going to put my glasses back on because I can't see a damn thing. I'm blind as a bat. There we go. Okay, so my face is pretty much all primed and ready for makeup. Ugh, there's hair there. So I'm gonna do my blush first. So I'm just gonna work it from the top of my cheekbone down. If you don't really know where exactly to put this, the best tip you can have is smile. See this plump part right here? This is your cheekbone, and this plump part is called the apple of your cheek. That is where you want to apply your blush. Like I said, this is my favorite blush. It goes on pretty pale. So I just kind of buff it in. Always blend. It's always really important to blend. You don't want any like harsh edges, okay? And it's just kind of like a really pretty soft pink. And I think it's really good for everyday wear. So let me just buff this on. Like I said before, I also have tried it a different way where I start at the apple and go back. You can do it whatever way you want. Sorry, itchy nose. This is just something that I've started doing recently. It's just a little different approach. It's more of a natural flush. If you put it right on the apples of your cheeks, it looks a little bit unnatural. So try to work it from the back forward. That just helps it look a little more natural. So if you can see a little bit better, it just has a nice pink glow. And the sparkles just kind of make it look a little dewy, which is interesting. So just keep that in mind. So then next, of course, I'll use my bronzer. And as you can see, I'm kind of sucking in my cheek like that, and it just kind of helps define exactly where the underneath of the cheekbone is, and this is kind of to help contour. Okay, and then you're going to want to put it kind of on your temple. Okay, this is a trick that I learned from the makeup artist named Carmen D. I don't know how many of you are familiar with her, but she does the makeup for all of the people who are on TLC's What Not to Wear. And I really like her. She's a wholehearted supporter of doing very kind of natural, sedated makeup. Nothing that's too flashy that will overpower your natural beauty. So I just kind of always really enjoyed that message. So that's kind of like how she applies it. It's kind of in the C motion. You want to do it from your temple underneath your cheekbone, and you really don't need a lot. You don't want to look orange. So then I know other people put it underneath their jaw for a little extra contouring. I know people also put it on the sides of their noses for contouring. I don't really feel that's necessary for me, but if you do, just take a small brush, even just like an eyeshadow brush, dab it very gently in the bronzer, tap it off a little bit, and kind of start right here and work your way down, okay? Just like that, and it doesn't need to be dark. You'll want to do a lot of blending so that it looks natural. But anyway, so that's basically the face part. So now I will move on to the eyes. So now I'm going to fill in my brows a little bit. I just started doing this recently. Not that my brows really need that much defining. I just think that they're a little bit faint, especially with my darker hair now, and that they should stand out a little bit more to help anchor my face. So I'm just gonna go right ahead and brush this in. Okay, next I'm gonna move on to the eyelid primer. Okay, so this is it. It's a sponge tip applicator, and I really like it. I think it's nice. Like I said before, you really don't need a lot. So just dab it right on the eyebrow or the eyelid and under the brow, and just kind of just spread it along your lid by tapping. I'm using my middle finger right now, but I'm using it very, very lightly. So don't press and don't pull. Just kind of pat it on very gently, and then we can dip it in if necessary and do the other lid. Okay, and then what you're going to want to do right after that is take a little bit of the powder from before, the translucent powder, and just put it on your eyelids so that the lids don't get a crease. Okay, so I'm just going to do that right now. And of course you can use eyeshadow, but this is just kind of good like overall coverage for your eye. I just find it's quick and effective, and it, like I said, it's translucent, so it's really not going to do much of anything, except for set the makeup. So now we can go straight to the eyes. Okay, so I will be using Coastal Scents 88 palette. I'm going to be using this color. It's kind of like a nice, sorry, I'm squinting, peachy color. So I'm just going to use that as an all-over base. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me since it's my first time to do my makeup from the webcam, especially since everything is flipped. So I'm just going to do it right in front of my palette. I'm going to try and get close and show you what I'm doing. So dab it a little bit. You can see that a lot of pigment comes off. I've heard that people get frustrated easily because they think that these colors in particular have a lot of fallout, but when I was doing it before, I didn't really experience that. But just use like a fan brush or something if you do have fallout, and just brush it off your cheeks and it won't smudge. So I'm just going to pat this color right on my lid. Okay, always pat, don't ever drag it across the lid unless you're using a very light hand. Okay, and just any kind of pink color I've heard will warm up any other color that you put over top of it. So I think that the peach is a nice base as far as the all over lid color is concerned. This is what it looks like. I'm sorry if it's harder to see. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. Then I'm gonna follow over it with just kind of a light yellow, and that is this color. I'm sorry if it's kind of hard to see. It's just kind of a light kind of buttercup yellow, even actually lighter than a buttercup yellow, more like a butter yellow or margarine. And I'm just gonna put that on the very inside corner of my eyes, okay? That's just for brightness. Try not to go right into the middle, kind of keep it on the inner corner. Okay, but yeah, so you can kind of see that it just brings a little bit of brightness right into the eyes, and that'll help you look a little bit, a little less tired, and it'll make your eyes look a little bit bigger. So feel free to do that. Then I'm going to follow up by doing the outer corner here. And I'm going to use this kind of light moss green right here, okay? And I'm just gonna dab it very lightly, and I'm just gonna do it right on the crease and the outer corner. I'll just do that right now. I like to blend out as I'm working, so I'm just going to take a minute here and blend a little bit. Just going to blend it a little bit outwards, just to soften the edges a little bit. I'm not too concerned about blending it with the peach color, just because I want that to be able to stand out on its own. So I am going to grab a little bit more and put it on the other side. And working on the left eye is always kind of a pain in the ass for me because obviously, as you can see, my brush always hits the mirror, and that always happens. I'm nearsighted, so I need to be close to something in order to see it properly without my glasses. So it's always kind of hard to really get in there because of the angles that I have to work at. But I mean, you can definitely just kind of go back and fill in any areas where it might have not gotten the proper amount of color. I also find it's different for everybody, but the crease is not the same. They're not in the same place on both eyes, okay? So like the crease is a bit lower on this side than it is on this side. So I find that I have to put color a little bit higher on this eye than on this eye if I want the color to show up and be even. So you should always be double checking and making sure that the makeup itself is even. So I'm just gonna blend that a little bit, double check, blend again. That looks nice. So that's what it looks like. I know it's a little bit hard to see because it's a little bit pale, but that's what it looks like. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of fidgeting with the makeup a little bit. Also, what I like to do is kind of clean the brush off a little bit. I'm just kind of flicking it gently with my pinky, or I just do it against like a paper towel or something, or against a towel, or just like even my hand, just to get rid of some of the excess powder in there. That kind of works its way in once you're doing that. So next I want a little bit more color on my eye, so I'm gonna pick like a rosy pink, and this is actually kind of a hotter pink, this one right here. And I'm just gonna put that right in the middle of the lid. See, that a lot came off with that one. So before you put it on, I tap it off just a little bit. You always want to start a little bit lighter, just so that you don't have to keep on working on your eye until it gets to the fade that you want. So I'm just gonna put it right in the middle and work it a little bit into the crease. I'm not gonna do a lot because I want the green to stand out there, but just to kind of blend in the colors a little bit. Okay, and it looks nice. I think it looks quite nice, but I'm gonna add a little bit of blue. Okay, so I'm gonna take kind of this this great kind of sky robin's egg blue, and I'm just gonna take a very tiny bit, tap off, and then just put it right between the green on the outer corner and the pink in the middle of the lid. Okay, and I don't need a lot, I just need a little. So literally just dab it once, and then just kind of gently pat it right in that little triangle space you left. Okay? Okay. Yep. So that's pretty much what the look looks like. I'm sorry if it's kind of hard to see. The lighting isn't the best. I'm kind of actually losing a little bit of light right now. But you should be able to see the colors a little bit better. And I'll take some photos. So if you want better views of it with better light, I'll take some photos, okay? So then I'm gonna do the highlight, and I'm not gonna use that color I mentioned before from the Jane palette. I'm gonna use kind of a pretty champagne color from the 88 right there, okay? I'm just gonna take a little and work it right underneath the brow bone, okay? Just kind of pat it right underneath, and you can go all the way from the outer corner, okay? So all the way from here, all the way inside. Try to concentrate the most of the highlight on the outer part because that's where most of the brow bone will be visible, and kind of blend it inwards. Okay, and that'll just bring more light into your eyes, and will help create more depth. A little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of that same color and put it right on the bridge of my nose, just to have a little bit of that extra highlight there, and right on the top of my cheekbones, okay? So right on the top, just for a little bit of added dimension there. It'll just make that area pop a little bit more, and it'll give you some more depth to your face. You can just do that. You can even do a little bit above the eyebrow. I don't do too much. It doesn't really need to be that prominent up there, but just do that. Okay, so that's basically finishing the application of that right there. And so now I'm gonna finish off with mascara, because this has gone on for much too long, and I'm really sorry about that, but thank you for sticking with me if you are. Okay, so I'm going to start in the middle of my lashes, okay? And I am going to work my way outward on both ends. Okay. And usually when I'm in the finishing stages, mascara is usually the very last thing I ever do when doing my makeup. So I tend to rush through just to get it done. But as you can see, it really helps my lashes a lot. So this is the look all finished. I'll take my glasses off if it's too hard for you to see. Okay? Okay. And I'm just going to finish off with kind of a pinker lip gloss. Just because the eyeshadow isn't as prominent, you want something with a little pop of color on your lips. Okay, so. Okay. A nice little pop of color, and obviously it makes your lips look a little bit fuller when you have some extra shine on there. So yeah. I'm really sorry that this took such a long time. If you kind of want to see more about who I am and what I like, I encourage you to visit my Tumblr. It's thelovelyquirkster.tumblr.com. So I hope this was helpful to anybody. As if it was helpful, like the video, share it, comment on it. I would love to hear some feedback. If you feel like there's something that you'd like me to try out, I would definitely feel up to it. I'm a little bit busy with school right now, seeing as how it's wrapping up. But I'll try to get to it within the next few weeks, once I find time here and there as I'm working. But definitely let me know what you think, and it was a real pleasure to sit down and do this. And I hope that it helps. Okay. Well, I will see you guys next time.